Hello, I am Nate Kyle with Your Tech Vision in the Alaska Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired. Today we're going to go over creating a perpetual meeting in Zoom and then taking the link for that meeting and putting it on our desktop with a right mouse click, all using keystrokes. This is a great feature to have, especially for new students who may not be able to get around to all the different areas in their email and locate a Zoom invite link if it's coming that way. And where we're gonna end is with a link on our desktop to a meeting, and all your student would have to do is go to the desktop, and maybe the meeting's called Tech Training, and they click on it and they're in the Zoom meeting right from there, and they could do that every day. So I have one of my students with us here at Tech Vision, and that is Eam. Hello, Eam.
Hello.
All right. So right now we're in our Zoom meetings where our controls are, and we want to actually get over to our other Zoom window that has our 4 different sections. Go ahead and Alt-Tab over there, Eam.
Zoom. To move to an item, press the arrow keys. Contacts tab check selected. To switch pages, press Control page down.
Okay, so we heard it right there say Contact tab. There are 4 sections or 4 tabs in a typical Zoom window, and it's going to be your Contacts tab, your Home tab, Meeting tab, and what else? What's the other tab there? Chat tab. And so we want to get over to our Meeting tab in order to establish and set up this new perpetual meeting. So go ahead and Control tab until you're on Meeting.
Home tab check selected. To switch pages, press Control page down. Chat tab check selected. Meetings tab check selected. To switch pages, press Control page down.
Okay.
We've arrived.
We have arrived, and something that almost always happens when you're first in a tab, as you tab the first 2 or 3 times, JAWS doesn't announce anything. So don't think it's your computer. It happens a lot. But we are tabbing until we hear schedule meetings. Probably going to be, I don't know, 6 or 7 tabs in. So go ahead and start tabbing.
Search edit, type in text. Zoom, Emery Mitchell Butler status, present, refresh button to activate, press spacebar. Upcoming meetings tab check selected. To switch pages, press Control page down. Schedule meeting button to activate, press spacebar.
Right there, schedule meeting button. And when we open it, the first option is also going to be called schedule meeting. It's going to open up a context menu. Go ahead and hit your space bar on that.
Space, context menu to navigate, press up or down arrow, schedule meeting.
Okay, so we have schedule meeting, and I just want to down arrow through the options. Go ahead and down arrow.
Schedule from Outlook.
You can schedule from Outlook, meaning that you could launch Outlook and schedule this meeting, and it would already be set up in a message, and you could use your contacts from there. Go ahead and down arrow again.
Schedule from Google Calendar.
And pretty much the same thing with Google Calendar. And when she down arrows again, it's going to loop back around to the top. Go ahead and do that.
Schedule meeting.
All right, so we're going to schedule meeting. Press enter.
Enter. Leaving menus. Schedule meeting. Topic Emery Mitchell Butler. Zoom meeting edit. Emery Mitchell Butler.
Okay, so it has a name in there. We're going to rename it, and this is already highlighted. So as soon as she starts typing, it will replace the text that's in there with new text. Let's just call this our test run.
T-E-S-T test R-U-N-N-I-N-G running M-E-E-T-N-N-I-N-G.
There you go, test running meeting. And so she has that name in there. And as she tabs out of here, she's going to come to all the options or controls to schedule this meeting for a specific date, time, and the length that we would want the meeting to run. But in this case, we want the meeting to be perpetual. So we're going to actually skip and tab past all of those controls until we get to our first actual checkbox. So go ahead and tab about 10 times, Emery. Just tab, tab, tab all the way through about 10 times.
Start date Tuesday, August, month, August edits, day 11 edits, year 2020, start time 3 p.m., hour 03 at minute 00 edits, p.m. edits, spin box to set the value, duration, combo box, hour to change, duration, combo, recurring meeting, checkbox not checked, to check, press spacebar.
Right there, duration, checkbox not checked, recurring. We want this just to be able to be accessed anytime someone clicks on the link. So go ahead and check that box.
Space checked.
And now that she has checked that box, all of those controls for the date, the time, and the length, they're not available now. They're just they're absent because they're superfluous at this point. And we're just going to go ahead and tab from here and see the rest of the controls that would be there until we get to our create or schedule this meeting button. So go ahead and tab one time.
Meeting ID generate automatically radio button checked. To change the selection, press up or down arrow.
And that's fine. It's going to generate the meeting ID.
Password 0
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. So you're on the password box right now.
Table. Add messages captured only. Password 0 ECN edit. Type in text.
And so it generates a password, but you could, it's an edit box. So let's just go ahead and put a generic password in here, Eam.
A-Y-N-C-E blank blank.
Go ahead. Tell me what you're going to name it.
There. Our password is love.
Love. I like that. Okay. And we
love that.
I love that. And so we want an easy password here. We don't want anything that's tricky, because if someone, messages us and says, I can't get into your meeting, you want it to be just easy. So it's just on the fly. Oh, it's love. And boom, and they could enter it in. However, the way that we're going to set this meeting up is that the password and the meeting ID will be encoded inside of the link that we share with people or we share with our students. Let's go and tab one time.
Love blank. Learn more button to activate. Press spacebar.
Okay, let's go ahead and tab again.
Video host off radio button checked. To change the selection, press up or down arrow.
Video host off, that's unchecked. That means that we don't just have our video automatically turn on. We do that by Alt-V if we want our video on, but we control that. Go ahead and tab again.
Video participants off radio button checked. To change the selection, press up or down arrow.
Same with our participants. We don't want their video cameras automatically coming on or automatically requesting them to turn their video on. We want to just ask them rather than it be something that's automatically happening. Go ahead and tab.
Calendar Google Calendar radio button checked. To change the selection, press up or down arrow.
And so what happens here for me is that when anyone enters my meeting room or that I've created, I will get a notification that will say your participants are waiting. So that's a neat thing that I always leave checked. Go ahead and tab again.
Advanced meeting options, collapse button to activate, press spacebar.
Okay, so we want to go in here, advanced meeting options, hit your spacebar.
Space, enable waiting room, checkbox checked. To clear checkmark, press spacebar.
Okay, enable waiting room. We want to uncheck this. Go ahead and hit your spacebar.
Space, not checked.
The reason that we uncheck this is because if we have a waiting room, when people come to join our meeting, then we have to go and bring them in or allow them to come in from the waiting room. And sometimes that can be tricky, especially for a new student. Or sometimes I may be in a meeting and there's 10 people that are supposed to come and 8 people are there. And then if I start the meeting and these other 2 people come in, I kind of have to take a moment to allow them in. And sometimes it could be many more people than that. So I like to have it set up to where they can just automatically come in the meeting, especially if I've given them the link personally. Go ahead and tab.
Enable join before host checkbox not checked. To check, press spacebar.
Here's another one that I like to check this. Go ahead and check it.
Space checked.
And it's allow participants to join before host. That means when someone has this link that we're creating and they press enter, they're automatically in the meeting. Even if I'm there or not, they're just kind of in there. And maybe if another person joined, they could be talking. This is good for meetings, staff meetings. You guys don't have to wait for the creator of the meeting to join until you guys can all start. Go ahead and tab.
Enter, not checked.
Sorry.
Space
okay.
checked. Mute participants upon entry, checkbox not checked. To check, press spacebar.
Mute participants upon entry, that's pretty self-explanatory. You can have that checked, and that means people are automatically muted. We use this with large webinars and presentations, but if there's just 2 or 3 people, we don't have this checked. If someone needs to mute, we tell them press Alt-A to mute yourselves, or we check this if it's a bigger crowd. Go ahead and tab again.
Automatically record meeting on the local computer, checkbox not checked. To check, press spacebar.
Automatically record, we're not going to check that. If you have that going, you're going to use up a lot of your memory on your disk drive if you're automatically recording all meetings. If you want to record a meeting manually, you press Alt-R, and that will start recording a meeting, and it will be converted when you finish your meeting, and a little folder will pop up in your documents called Zoom Recordings. Go ahead and tab.
Schedule button to activate, press spacebar.
Schedule button. And so Once she presses this button, once she clicks on it, what may happen is a browser window in Chrome or Mozilla may pop open. It's really superfluous. You can just close it when it does. So don't panic and think you have to go navigating around a web page to fill out anything. Go ahead and hit your space bar here.
Space. Schedule meeting. Zoom. Schedule meeting. Schedule meeting button to activate. Press space bar.
Okay, and so in this case,
Google accounts, Google Chrome. Sign in Google accounts. Page has 1 region, 1 heading, and 7 links. Sign in Google accounts. Heading level 1. Choose an account to continue to. Zoom button. List of.
So there, her browser did eventually pop up. And just go ahead and close this with Alt F4, Control W, or Control F4.
Alt F4. Sign in Google accounts. Google Chrome. Schedule meeting button to activate. Press space bar.
Okay, so it looks like we're still on the schedule meeting button, but actually what has happened is that the meeting has been created now. So now when she tabs, she's going to have the meeting information there. Go ahead and tab.
Meeting topic test running meeting. Meeting ID 741 75 96 60 57. To move to an item, press the arrow keys.
Okay, so there's the name, there's the meeting ID. Go ahead and tab again.
Test running meeting.
Tab again.
Recurring.
It says it's recurring. Tab again.
Meeting ID 741 75 96 60 57.
Yep, go ahead and keep tabbing.
Copy meeting invitation information button to activate. Press space bar.
So on if she were to copy this invitation, what would probably happen is it would copy a whole invite saying, you know, so-and-so is inviting you to this meeting and click here and here's the meeting ID number and here's the password. That's not what we want to copy to complete our task of putting a shortcut on the desktop. So, but if we did want to copy this and email it to people, we could, but we want to capture the link that has the password and the meeting ID embedded in it. Go ahead and tab again.
Edit meeting button to activate. Press space bar.
You can go in here and edit the meeting if you wanted to create a stronger password, if you wanted to change the name of it, or if you wanted to go back and schedule it as a certain date or time. You could do that under edit. Go ahead and tab one more time.
Delete meeting button to activate. Press space bar.
And then of course you could delete the meeting. So what we want to do now is we want to see how we would just copy the link for this meeting that has everything embedded. What we would do is we would launch the meeting. So we would go to our meetings tab in Zoom and we would be tabbing through here where you saw edit, where you saw delete. You would click start. There would be a start button. So the meeting would start. So through our Zoom Hollywood smoke and mirrors action, we're going to say we have done that. And so once the meeting is started, you're going to be in there yourself and you're going to be in your meeting control area. So go ahead and Alt tab and back to your meeting controls.
Task switching. Meeting controls. To move to an item, press the arrow keys. Dock the top button to activate. Press space bar.
And this is where you have your mute or turn video on or share screen or chat. And you also have a copy link option. So go ahead and tab to where you get to that.
Stop share all test button to activate. Press space bar. Mute. Currently unmuted. Alt A button to activate. Press space bar. Audio settings button drop down. Start video. Alt V button to activate. Press space bar. Video settings button. Open participants panel. Context menu button drop down. New share Alt Shift S button to activate. Press space bar. Pause share Alt T button to activate. Press space bar. Annotate button to activate. Press space bar. Remote control button to activate. Press space. More button drop down. Dock the top button to activate. Stop share Alt S button to activate. Press space bar.
No, I can't find it.
Okay, and that's fine. And sometimes that happens, like we're doing a screen share, and then we also show the participants list. So you're saying, well, how do I find this URL, this link? And we can also do the keystroke that would automatically pop up the invite link. And so let's press the Alt-I.
Alt-I. Invite people to join meeting 722 26 22 43 12.
Okay, and now we're going to tab and see if we see a copy link or copy URL.
Contacts tab check selected. Type and select a person type to filter. List box. To move. Copy invite link button to activate. Press space bar.
Right there. Space bar.
Space.
Hopefully it copied it.
Press enter so we're sure that we're sure.
Doubly sure.
Enter.
Okay, so now, and if we really wanted to know, what could we do, Eam, to check if it's on our clipboard?
Oh, I think it's layered command and then C.
Yeah, so this layered command is going to be insert spacebar, and we're going to hear a little, And then she's going to
Space.
press C for clipboard.
Clipboard text. Link HTTPS +02 web. Zoom.
Okay. Hush it up.
J72,226,000,226.
So she knows that the link is on her clipboard. Go ahead and escape out of here.
Escape. Copy invite link.
And so what she could do, as an advanced student, and she created her own meeting, she could take this link and send it to her instructors or her teachers and say, this is a link to join my classes. Anytime we want to meet, you just click on this link. If we say we'll meet at Friday at 2 o'clock, you click on this link and I'll meet you there. And for me as an instructor, this is what I often tandem into my students' computer, and I will make sure that this link is pinned to their desktop and says something like tech training. And so that's what we're going to do next.
It's also kind of convenient because sometimes, say I'm doing something at 2 o'clock and I'm supposed to be in the meeting, it's kind of annoying if he's like calling me and calling me and calling me. So let's say I come back at 2:01 and I'm ready to start. I mean, I'm almost never late, but say I am, then I can just pop right in the meeting, no trouble.
Exactly. It's really convenient. So let's go ahead and get over to our desktop.
Windows D. Folder view list view. Make meeting tech training. To move to items, use the arrow keys to edit.
And there's her link already for me, and that's the one we use every day. So what we're going to be doing here is performing a right click with JAWS, which is going to be different than just hitting your application keys. The application key kind of gives us some of the things that a right click does, but it's not giving us everything.
Don't we have to control home to make sure that none of the items are selected?
Very good, my student. Okay, so she said we have to make sure that no items are selected in the desktop. That's really one of the most important things to remember here. Right now, go ahead and just arrow up and we'll listen.
Program downloads 20 of 22.
Okay, so it says program downloads, but it did not say not selected. In order to get to where you have nothing selected, you either are going to do a control home or a control end. So let's do a control home, Ian.
Not selected recycle bin 1 of 22. Top of file. Not selected recycle bin 1 of 22.
Awesome.
And we heard that, not selected. And so now we're going to do a right click with JAWS, and it's going to be the insert key that we are using on our caps lock key. So we have our caps lock converted into our insert, and the keystroke is going to be an insert held down while pressing the 9 for a right click. If someone wanted to do a left click, it would be the number 8. So let's go ahead and do our right click with insert and 9.
Right mouse button, list box. To move to an item, press the arrow keys.
And it told us, right mouse button. Now we're going to up arrow until we hear new.
Can't move.
You can't move. Interesting. And so these are the fun things about tech, the unexpected things. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit insert T and see if we may have lost focus.
T. Title is invite people to join meeting 722 26 22 43 12.
Oh no, looks like we.
Okay, let's escape out of here.
Escape.
And I think maybe we did lose focus, but we'll just try it again. We'll go back to our desktop.
Title is desktop 1. Windows D.
Let's go ahead and try to get to the top, or control home.
Top of file, blank.
Uh-oh, something.
Okay, so let's just alt tab through our windows and make sure that nothing's open that we don't need open, and let's make sure that that invite window is out of focus.
Meeting controls, Zoom. Meeting controls, Zoom.
Tab through your meeting controls.
Mute, currently unmuted, alt.
Okay, and now go to your main Zoom window and just kind of tab through there and see if it looks normal.
Zoom to move to. Show meeting invitation button to activate, press spacebar.
Okay, so now let's try to go back to our desktop. And when we get to our desktop, let's maximize, and then let's go ahead and do our control home.
Windows D, folder view list view, not to Windows up arrow.
Okay. Sounded like we were, go ahead and do a control end so we can be for sure nothing's selected.
Here we go.
Okay, now let's try that insert in number 9.
Right mouse button, context menu to navigate, press up or down arrow, V, view sub menu, V.
There we go. There's our beloved options.
Okay, let's up arrow
Personalize, R.
to new.
Display settings, D. New sub menu, W.
Right there. That's the bingo we want. Let's go ahead and press enter.
Enter, folder, F.
And now we're going to down arrow until we hear shortcut.
Shortcut, S.
Yep, enter right there.
Enter, leaving menus, folder view, list view, not selected, codex, 18 of 23. To move the items, use the arrow keys. To edit the selected item, press F2. Create shortcut, type the location of the item, edit, type in text, Alt plus T.
Okay, so it pops us right into an edit box, and it's saying type the location of the shortcut. And Eam has the URL for her Zoom, her perpetual Zoom meeting on the clipboard. Go ahead and paste it there.
Paste it from clipboard.
Now we're going to tab to next.
Browse button to activate. Next button to activate. Press spacebar. Alt plus N.
Yep, spacebar on that.
Space. Type a name for this shortcut. Edit. New internet shortcut. Type in text. Alt plus T.
And we can just call this what you named it, test training.
T-E-S-T test R-U-N run M-E-E-T-I-N-G meeting L-I-N-K.
Okay, now press enter.
Link enter. Show meeting invitation button to activate. Press spacebar.
Okay, so when she pressed enter, it closed out of there and just brought its focus back to Zoom. But we want to go to the desktop with our Windows D.
Windows D, folder view, list view, not selected, codex, 18 of 23. To move the items, use the arrow keys. To edit the selected item, press
Now
F2.
there's 23. There was 22.
Yep, there was 22. Now there's 23. And this is something very easily now. So if you were on a call, say you were walking your student through this just on the phone before you connected with the Zoom, you would say, okay, go to the desktop, which she just did. And then you would say, now press the letter. What was the first letter of this, Eam?
T.
So let's press T until we hear the shortcut we just created.
T, test run meeting link, 23 of
There
23.
it is.
Yep, and so when she pressed,
Battery is running low. Mode button to activate. Press spacebar. Alt plus C.
Better plug up.
it better plug up. So when she pressed enter on this, it would take her right into the Zoom meeting, and I would be right there.
Escape. Show
And
meeting invitation button to activate. Press spacebar.
One
we'd
second.
be having class
New
together.
notification from Windows Security.
We're having a little
Windows D, folder view.
computer decided to be happy just then.
Well, that covers everything that we wanted to look at, creating this perpetual meeting, getting the link that has the password and the user ID encoded in it, and then creating a shortcut on our desktop so we can just easily access a meeting room for instructors, for students, for anyone. So thank you very much, Eam, and go ahead and join us again for more videos. You can find them on our YouTube page and visit us at the yourtechvision.com. Have a great day. Thank you very much.